Just to see how these would do. I guess he sent me 4. So it's interesting. They come in individually packaged with 2 in a package. Yep, that's the information. Says it's FDA approved. We'll see how it performs. I'm kind of curious to know. And then I'm going to be working on the Project Human logo, because there's a lot of downtime with this testing. So, gonna get started. It's crazy. Okay. Alright. Gonna get started. Gonna get started. Oh, come on. Man, this is killing my computer. Alright, I'm gonna have to contact my friend. I need to get a new computer. This is really not working. Okay. Okay. Come on. Honestly, I think it's because it's so goddamn hot. And it's like my computer fan is just going 100%. And I think that's part of the reason why my computer can't handle this. Regardless, I probably need a new computer. Or I need air conditioning. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Come on, computer. Okay. I should have done that. I gotta get moving. Okay. Just finished my 3rd control. I gotta get better at like typing numbers. I was never good at typing numbers. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting because the particulates today are just so far below. I mean, it was just kind of really odd. Last week, the particulates were like this time like 3 times as high than normal. Normal is like 68,000, like these days, 60,000. Some days were really low. For instance, like this day was like 12,000. I've been trying to figure out what exactly it is. What's really interesting about this particulate counter is it's actually meant for clean room. So it's actually meant to run. Oh shit, I need to plug this in. I'll do that later. They're meant to run like, constantly. It's to be constantly on. You can set it to keep pulling air every so often because it's really meant to monitor particles in the air, not actually to do the type of testing that I'm trying to do with masks. So in that sense, the flow rate of this particulate counter is 0.1 cubic feet per minute, which is just like a trickle, because that's kind of why it was meant to work in a clean room. Whereas kind of like the amount of flow rate of your lungs breathing is really high. I'm not sure exactly what it is. Like we can look it up right now. But it's way higher than 0.1. Flow rate of a breath of air, humans. Okay, 5 to 7 liters a minute. Okay. Cubic feet? No, that's okay. 6. Yeah. Okay, let's just try 5 to 7. Alright, liters per minute. You gotta convert that to. Let's just do 6 liters per minute to CFM. Ah, that's interesting. That can't be true. That can't be true. The human breathes 5 to 7 liters a minute. Come on, computer. Oh, this is interesting. I kind of want to know what the pressure gradient of breathing is. No, just get to breathing. Wow, this reminds me of textbooks. I mean, I think this is a textbook. That's kind of crazy. I kind of just want to read a textbook. Huh, interesting. Respiratory system, transport O2. Yep, transfer CO2 takes place. Yeah, whatever. Average human breathes 6 liters per minute. Damn. 6 liters a minute. So, this is not bad. I mean, this measures at 0.1 liters a minute, or 0.1 CFM. So 6 liters a minute really is 0.2 cubic feet per minute. So this is only half as fast as a human breathing in terms of flow rate. That's amount of air per unit of time. So it's not bad, because I read other studies that were testing materials that were using like 3.2 cubic feet per minute and 1.2, which means that those are way higher than a human breathing. So this probably more accurately represents human breathing. But it's so weird because it just seems like humans breathe. You know what? I wonder if that. See, that's the thing, actually. This number, 6 liters per minute, probably means that a human breathes 6 liters of air in a minute. But what I really want to know is average airflow rate per breath. Okay, that's a breathing rate. No, come on, I don't care. 12 breaths per minute, molecules of breath. Oh no, this is right. I mean, 12 breaths a minute, so the total molecules. Average human breathes 6 liters a minute of air. 1 molecule of air whatever. Wow. Oh god, this takes me back to like engineering. That's hilarious. Okay, so we're going from 6 liters a minute. 1 mole of air. That's probably not a term most people know. Oh my god, yeah, this is like fucking what? Specific 0.8 times. Okay, so it's 80% N2 and 20% O2. Yeah, that's about right. I mean, with like a negligible amount of CO2 and stuff that they're not even using. It's like they're just saying it's 80% nitrogen, 20% oxygen. 28, a mole of nitrogen gas is 28 grams. A mole of oxygen gas is 32 grams. So it's 20% of 32 and 28. So a mole of air is 28.8 grams. 1 mole is 22.4 liters. That's right. One mole of any gas takes up 22.4 liters. Breathing rate is 8 grams a minute. Okay, so they converted liters to minute to grams. Breathing rate is 8 grams per minute. 11 kilograms per day. Dang, that's a lot. 1 mole is 600, so the breathing rate is... So they converted liters to molecules. Man breathes 12 breaths a minute. Molecules per breath. Yeah, that's why. So this 6 liters, just looking at this this example, is this 6 liters per minute is the amount of air that a human breathes in a minute, which is like 12 breaths. Wow. What is this about women breathing 20 breaths a minute and children breathing 60? Is that true? That's crazy. Yeah, so that's not actually the number I want. What I want is average. I bet I can back calculate it from this number. 12 breaths a minute, so 1.3 molecules per breath. I don't have to do this calculations. Inspiratory flow rates during hard work when breathing. This is more of what I want to know. I'm getting way off track, but I'm now curious. So yeah, inspiratory flow rate is maybe what I should be looking at. Inspiratory flow rate. Average. Let's do average. I just want to get the number, god damn it. No. Average human inspiratory flow rate. The flow rate is shown explicitly 60 liters. I'm guessing that, everything that I'm reading is about ventilators. 60 liters per minute. Oh, yeah, so if it was 60, so since I'm lazy and I don't want to actually look for the inspiratory flow rates. Oh my god, this is so tiny. Okay. Wow. Man, when you're working hard, you are breathing fucking hard. Do the conversion thing. Is it 374 or something? 13. Damn, that's insane. 374. You're breathing 13 CFM when you're breathing like hard during like hard exercise. That's more. Oh, wow. Oh wow. Respiratory. Anyways, I was hoping to get a normal. See, I don't really care about peak flow rate. I really want average flow rate. So actually, this is interesting. So the normal inspiratory flow rate of ventilators is 60 liters a minute. So that tells me that that's kind of average. Or, I don't know. Ventilators are used on sick people, so maybe they want higher than average. But let's just go with 60. So that would mean that, yeah, so normal human breathing is about 2.1 CFM. And so this thing is 0.1 CFM. So this is breathing way slower than a human would breathe. And that actually changes filtration properties of materials. So that's like a, kind of one of the weaknesses of this methodology, of me having just this particulate counter. Because I saw some other studies that were using 1.2 CFM in their flow rate studies, their material testing, and then 3.2. So I'm interested why they didn't use this average of 60 liters a minute. Because they only tested those two numbers, which is, yeah. Yeah, so they're talking about ventilators. They're usually set, if flow rates are set explicitly, 60 is typically used. So to me that means 60 liters a minute is about how fast you want the air to go when you breathe. Alright, I got really sidetracked. That was fun. This was fun. This is like reading a textbook. I'm just going to keep this open. Isn't that crazy? That's what I said is fun, reading a textbook. I never read textbooks when I was in college. Oh, I did, but I would just cram. And I never liked it. But now I'm really enjoying this because it just kind of, it's like nostalgic. Wow. This is how far your lungs are branching. Getting down to like 0.1 millimeters, man. 0.1 millimeters. Bifurcation number. Wow. 23 bifurcations. Your lungs bifurcate 23 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 23 times to get to the alveoli. And it's 0.1, probably less than 0.1 diameter, inner diameter, I'm guessing, of these little tubes. Wow. Yeah, so you breathe it in. When multiplying subdivision of air patches, the cross-section of transport system increases rapidly. Yeah, so that's why you have so much volume in your air, and then you can move that volume so fast if you just contract the whole thing. So what this is saying is that as air travels through all these bifurcations, the flow rate actually decreases, right? The flow rate of every time it bifurcates, half the flow rate goes this way, half the flow rate goes that way. If it's bifurcating 23 times, on those little tiny tubes, the flow rate is just so small. And so convective movement, that's actually, the flow rate. And then in these alveoli, diffusive processes take over. So the natural diffusion of like oxygen from an oxygen-rich environment, like inside the alveoli, to an oxygen-poor environment outside the alveoli, is what causes air to move at that point. Like oxygen is just moving through by diffusion, not so much convective movement. This is hilarious. This is like I'm totally nerding out. This is awesome. Air passage has no cleaning purposes. Dude, okay. I gotta focus. Okay. Whatever. Okay. So, yeah. I should write that down. There's like a whole section for considerations. I forget. Where's the part of the paper that talks about like? I'm just gonna put a test methodology right now. I call it considerations. From 2.1 CFM, the particle counter operates at a significantly lower flow rate at 1 CFM. Just gotta note it. That's science. Oh my god. This computer's dying. Fucking Christ, man. I need a better computer. Really annoying. Okay. Gotta get some coffee. This is good coffee. Kirkland's cold brew is really good for the price too. It's really good. Okay, I'm going to do my control for this run, and then I'm going to go back to reading textbooks. Epiglottis. Cilia motion. This is kind of gross. Yeah, like our throat has cilia, which are these like tiny little fingers, I guess. I don't know, just like millions and millions, and it just like moves stuff up. It's like a transport system. It's like tiny little hands just like handing off to each other and moving things. Yeah, that's these little cilia. I guess that's on the walls of your throat. That's why it's like when you inhale something, your lungs will get it out. It'll try to cough it out, and then it'll have these cilia that are just pulling shit out of your lungs. Okay. Well, that went down significantly. Okay, so we're testing the Canopus particle respirators that my friend sent me. Comes two in a package. Never heard of the brand. That doesn't mean much because I don't know much about these brands. And tons of these guys are popping up all over the place. Some guys are good guys, trying to do good. Some are not. Just looking at the quality of the construction, it looks decent. It's always a good sign that the elastic bands are not stapled on, that they're melted on. Staples would create holes. I've seen that before. That's kind of crazy. And I think it's just like sort of a sign of quality to see that the nose guard is melted in between the layers instead of just showing on top. You know, that's just like cosmetic, but it kind of signals quality to me, at least. Yeah. Feels feels good. Feels good as a filter. Very breathable. Can never tell anything about the material until you test it, but feels good. A little bit thin, but like feels good. So we're gonna test two different parts of it. Key when doing this testing is to get a good seal. I need to find a better solution than using this rubber band, which is not scientific at all. Pretty ghetto. I can do better than that, I think. It is very important in these tests to get a very tight seal. Because you want all the air going into the particle counter to be coming through the filter and not coming from like out around the sides. So I try to just do the rubber band as tight as possible. Okay. Okay, so age. Oh wow, that's interesting. So your maximum volume of exhaled air after maximum. Remaining volume after maximum expiration. Wow, your lungs become less efficient when you're older. Oh, that's why. Look at that, that's really interesting. I like that it's a hand-drawn. I wonder what this is. Is this a textbook? So what this means is that this line represents the volume of air. Okay, so this is also something that I don't think people understand, and I didn't understand until I looked it up. But if you fully exhale your lungs, there's still a decent amount of air in there. That's what this line represents. It represents there's like, you know, around 2 liters out of 6. So a full third of your lungs is never it's not that it's never exhaled, but it's not like your lungs go to like 0 volume. They go to 1/3 of its volume. So there's a 1/3 of old air still in your lungs when you breathe in the new breath, and then that mixes up, and so it all turns over eventually. But it's not like you breathe in 6 liters of air and then breathe out a whole 6 liters of air and your lungs are just like all stuck together. You only breathe out 2/3 of your volume and recycle that every time. That's why if you breathe in like really hot air, like let's say if you smoke, you don't like just burn your lungs out, because that hot air, as hot as it is still mixing with 1/3 of old air, and the heat's dissipating into your skin and other air. So anyways, but let me just fucking do this. Looks good. Looks good. That's really good. 921, 51, 4, 0. I don't think I have to test other ones. These look good. I'm gonna do another control run. Yeah, so as you get older, so this other line represents how much air, let's see, maximum volume exhaled after maximum volume of vital capacity. Oh wow, that's interesting. Tidal volume, UVC is in 2 units of liters. Height. Oh, per height. Interesting. So you can actually find what the average volume is based on your height in meters. That's crazy. That's cool. Pressure in the thorax. Minus, so this is the pressure differential. Often negative. Interesting. Pressure in the lungs. Minus pressure in lung thorax. Interesting. Pressure atmosphere. Pressure thorax. Pressure lungs. Lung thorax. Time dependent function. Positive inhaled. Around 0 exhaled. Wow. You would think it would be negative. But maybe that's because the pressure of the thorax is what compresses the lungs. Yeah, around 0. It's interesting. Around 0. Oh shit, okay. Alright, man, the particles are going down. Okay, I'm gonna do the other side of this. This looks like a really good mask though. They're legit. See, most guys out there trying to do the right thing. Trying to do what's right for people. There's still some people out there that are... Let me redo that run since I was touching it. There's still people out there that are trying to take advantage of the situation, which I find despicable. That's not how you spell it. Man. Interpleural pressure. Pressure between the lungs and the chest wall. So the lungs, PL, interpleural pressure, PT, what's PT? Thorax. Thorax is outside the lungs. Atmosphere. Wow, stuff is pretty good. 353, 8, 3, 0. Here's my scientific tool. Right here. This is why I need to get something better than rubber band, because this rubber band, I don't have many of these. Okay, let's do control. I'm also wanting to test these melt-blown polypropylene sheets. I need to find out on Amazon which ones these are. But this should be the same sort of material that is used to make face masks. I wonder how it'll do. Got high hopes for this. But it all depends on how small the fibers are. Melt-blown polypropylene. Okay, we're gonna do the second mask. My computer is dying. Six 136741076 4468 1665. Okay, gotta test the other mask. Lungs and chest wall are coupled together. Lungs are sitting inside the chest, an airtight system. Pressure between lungs and chest wall is called interpleural pressure. Yeah, I think this represents the rib cage, the chest wall. Or intrathoracic pressure. I think that's lung thorax, time-dependent function. Pressure between the lungs and chest wall is called interpleural or intrathoracic. Typically negative with respect to pressure inside the lung. Yeah, that makes sense. I think what it's saying is that the pressure inside the lungs is inverse to the pressure between the chest wall and the lungs. God, it's hard to wrap my head around that. The relation is nearly linear and is limited by the elasticity of the lung tissue. True. The measure of the elasticity of the respiratory system is the compliance. The compliance is determined by the ability of the pressure in the lung system of changing the volume. So the differential in the volume over the differential in the pressure. And the volume change. The rate of volume change over rate of pressure change. With respect to pressure. Rate of volume change with respect to pressure. Oh God, I gotta stop doing this. Okay. 474. 474. 900. Damn, that was a good run. Oh no, see, this rubber band is ripping. Okay. This is insane. What? Like? Pressure of the lungs, pressure PL2, PT. PL2. And the pleural pressure. Wow. Next. This is the compliance curves. Rate of volume change over pressure with respect to pressure. That's insane. Control 60519. 13570 4229 600. All right. Second run. That's pretty fucking tight. Yeah. Anyways, that is fun. I'm gonna go back to this. Change of volume per time. The rate of volume change. Airflow is proportional to the rate of volume. Yeah, airflow is proportional to the change in volume per time. Yeah, volume per like cubic feet per minute, CFM, liters per minute. The relationship between change of volume and the pressure difference is given by the Hagen-Poiseuille law. God damn. I mean, I must have studied this at some point in bioengineering. Oh, God. All right, these are good. So, Canopus N95 respirators. Good. Okay. Oh God, this is ridiculous. Decent. Actually really good. So 99% effective filtration of 0.3 micron, pretty much 99% and above. It's like N99 standard. And the problem is always the fit, though. Now they even have like a little insert about coronavirus. The market prices for source materials have skyrocketed due to high demand. So that's true. I've heard that the raw materials, the melt-blown polypropylene and stuff is so the prices of just the raw materials have gone way up. Shipping and air cargo options have quadrupled due to plane cancellations, and our income lines have diminished most of our businesses. Cool. Kagan Adair. It's very nice that they put that insert in there. Okay. Those are good. Okay, what are we testing? Okay, gonna test some materials that my friend sent me. Some single layer 100% cotton. 2 layers of 100% cotton with fusible interfacing between. I asked my friend what that was all about. I'll find out. Come on. Come on, computer. All right, gonna do control air. So, and then the third one. So that is what was used. Lightweight, midweight, Wonderweb interfacing. Lightweight, midweight, bonds fabric to fabric or any porous surface. I wonder what that's gonna do. If that's gonna kind of gunk up the pores. That's kind of interesting. I'm glad that she sent me that. Because I'm afraid that that's gonna gunk up the pores, which means, I mean, is it breathable? Ugh, it's kind of hard to breathe through. That's interesting. I would be interested to know, like, how that affects this. Okay. All right, let's test the single layer of cotton. Last one. Okay. Bunk. Okay, so we just did the control, which was 60. 60. 75. 192. 51. 1745. Okay. Okay. Shit. Let me just get away from that. Okay, so this is the logo that I've been making for Project Human. So what I like about this is it came from an original concept where I was working on another piece that was Protect America. And that's when I noticed that Protect and Project only differ by this one letter, which is the J and the T. And so the idea was to mess with the font and make the J a hybrid JT, so it could be read, you know, it's like Project Human, Protect Human. You know, as I was designing this, I wanted it to be ambiguous. Like, I didn't want it to be clearly a J. I'm fine with people thinking that this is Protect Human. I want it to be 50-50. I like how the T and the J are pretty much the same, except longer and pointed the other way. It literally is like a backwards, longer T. So it's, you look at it and you're like, is this Protect or is this Project? This is like an interesting font called Earth Orbiter. Let me go back to this. Oh, I'm not gonna tell them. I'm not gonna tell them about these. Sadly, hey, it's not bad. Wait, is this even right? What happened? No. Oh god. I was like, 67, that's way too high for what I was seeing. Okay, Christ. I need to copy these. Copied these wrong. What? Oh. Shit. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh, Christ. Okay. I think I can pull this down. Tell me that's gonna work. Okay. Yeah. Not great. You know, it's a single layer of, you know, low thread count cotton. So that's not, it's not going to be great, right? Like, it's a good outer layer. So what they actually do is use multiple layers. So this is interesting. So it's 2 layers with that chemical, that Wonder Web interfacing. Great for use in lightweight, midweight fabrics. So it just kind of bonds fabric to fabric or any porous surface. All right. So I'm just so curious. It's stiffer, so I'm really afraid that I'm not going to be able to get a very good seal. It's kind of one of my worries, which would bias the results, but get this as tight as possible. Ah, come on. Ah. It's gonna be impossible to get that out. Shit. Shit. I was supposed to do a control run before this. Just do it after. Yeah, I mean, looks like that fabric glue is still breathable, but two layers sadly wasn't really enough to get a good filter. Okay, I'm gonna do that control run that I was supposed to do. And then we can get rid of these lines. And then we should, oh shit. Okay, 2 layers with feasible. Shit. Two layers. A third layer. Oh god, okay. Cotton control. Let's do my control run. 57753 13027. Okay, I'm gonna do this one. So this is 3 layers backing, and this is all really beautifully sewn. Really impressed. Did I do 2 runs? Did I even do 2 runs? I did not do 2 runs. What the hell am I doing? Ah, Christ, Jason. Okay, I'm just gonna redo some of this shit. Oops. Okay, I'm just gonna redo my control. Oh shit, I'm just kind of running out. I gotta plug this in. Okay. Okay. Single layer. No, I mean, it's not a mask. I'm just gonna keep it as single layer. 2 layers if you 3 layers. Okay, I think that's what it is. So it's 2 layers of content, 3 layers backing. I don't know if it's 3 layers. No, because these aren't attached yet. Okay, so it's 3 layers with feasibility between 2 of the layers. Okay, I'm gonna go to the control run. Another control run, and then we're gonna have to do the second run for this one. No, for the single layer. And then we're gonna do this run again, and then we're gonna do this one, and then we're gonna do some melt blown polypropylene. All the while, go back to harping on about this. Yeah, so this font, or human, is a font called Earth Orbiter. It's kind of a cool font. I liked it. It's sci-fi. You know, that's what I was looking for, a sci-fi type font, but not too sci-fi, because I want this to paint a picture. I want Project Human to have like quality of a possible future. A future that's not here yet. Possible future. Not an alternate reality, but a possibility. A possible reality. What the hell? Oh, my computer's dying. Okay, God Christ, okay. Control 5, 6, 7, 4, 1, 2, 6, 2, 1. I'm gonna do this control again. I gotta do these because this part, the particles are decreasing, and so I gotta do the runs like as soon as possible, because every time I do the controls, it's decreasing. This is a really cool way to make, this is a really cool, let me just close these. This is a really cool way to make a mask. It's a sock. So it took me a while to figure this out. It's a sock. Boom. Make sure to wash your sock first. So you take a sock, you cut it kind of right at the heel, turn it around, you cut the fabric, you turn it inside out, you cut a slit for the ear, and then she kind of does that cosmetically, and then cut on the inside for the ear, and then cuts that cosmetically. Then boom, it's done. So useful, so easy. My friend sent it to me. It was really good. Wait. Shit. Okay. I gotta focus. Okay. 55101. 1205. 3859. 1524. Thank you. Thank you, supporter. Okay. 100% cotton. Shit. Okay, god damn it, Jason. Focus. Okay. Do it a different spot. Shit. You know, this single layer of cotton is just a little bit too thin. It's really hard. Make sure I have a good seal. That should do it. Okay. All right. Okay. This is also a very sad reality. Something is very wrong with this picture. It's true. Hospitals all over the country are losing tons of money treating COVID because I'm not sure what they're getting paid for it. All that is all being made up right now, like as we speak, like in the past month, because there wasn't coronavirus before this. So either they're not getting paid or they're not getting paid a lot because hospitals make their money, their profit on elective surgeries, which they've had to cancel because of corona. And so it's like a car dealership or like a car company like Ford. They make most of their money selling like their big cars, like their trucks and their SUVs, where they can really mark up the price. And they don't make as much selling, the little sedans and stuff. They make less margins. Same thing with hospitals, is on the procedures that make them a ton of money, like elective surgeries. They've had to cancel all those, and they're just treating corona. So they're actually losing a ton of money. It's like if Ford stopped being able to sell like SUVs, they wouldn't be making money, probably even. So that's why these hospitals are kind of hemorrhaging money. Ah, shit. Okay. So 52519 063 3003 030. Okay. Yeah, they're like hemorrhaging money, and they're gonna go out of business probably because some of the hospitals are, unless they get help. That's why part of the stimulus package was financial aid to hospitals, because a lot of them are gonna go out of business for doing the right thing, which is treating COVID patients and canceling elective surgeries. Not saying the hospitals are great entities, because they do fucked up things, but we kind of need them, and they're going to be suffering, and they are suffering right now. Oh, man. Yeah. Andrew! Air so particulate. It's because they realize yeah, bro, they do. Okay, so Andrew's listening. The problem for your line infection. Yeah. Well, like you think about county hospitals, and I don't know, bro. It's like, yeah, I don't know. I haven't thought enough about the whole healthcare system, but there's a lot of fucked up things about it, right? If hospitals are making their money on elective surgeries, I mean, that's normal kind of for a company to have different product lines, right? Stuff that makes them most of their money and stuff that, like Google, for instance, they make the lion's share of their profits on search. That's why they're able to waste money searching YouTube now. That's why they're able to waste money on all these little pet projects, like little drones that give solar energy or crap like that, because they have the thing that makes them a ton of money. Yeah, it's the whole hospital insurance relationship that is really fucked up. Like, for instance, insurance, they don't want to pay hospitals. So hospitals will intentionally mark up all their costs to insurance companies, knowing that the insurance companies will then will only give them half of it. And so it's this weird game that they play. It's really fucked up. They've shut down most of the city. In DC, our hospitals shut down in most of the shut down. So, hey, Andrew, you saying in DC that they shut down these hospitals before the pandemic? Like, this is kind of what's been happening. I heard that in New York, it's true too. because of the hospital malpractice. It's because the other hospitals malpractice. No, I mean, Andrew, like sometimes hospitals lose money on things. That's why like Medicare, it depends, right? So it depends on how well the hospital can cut costs because they get paid. Like for instance, with Medicare, which sadly sometimes pays the least. If a hospital, if like a patient comes in with Medicare and they do some sort of surgery, and Medicare only pays like 20,000 for that surgery, it's like a set price. If the hospital doesn't keep their costs below 20,000, they're going to lose money. So they will lose money. They can lose money. It's not like the insurance company says, "Oh, sorry, you're inefficient, and we're going to pay you more." Yeah, New York hospitals got shut down. It's like in the quest to get greater and greater efficiency. Like for instance, the reason why like lower profitable hospitals get absorbed by more profitable ones, bigger ones, is it's part of capitalism. It's to increase efficiency, right? And because the hospitals are better run than these smaller hospitals and they benefit from economies of scale. Like when a large hospital group has many hospitals, well then they have like clear supply chains that are set, and they can negotiate prices better with suppliers. So there's a lot of reasons why like hospitals want to consolidate, because you can become more profitable when you have scale for a lot of reasons. But I think the problem that we're finding out with the pandemic is that while our capitalism has driven us to higher and higher efficiency, it is at the cost of resiliency. Our economy, our economic engine, the thing that houses the raw fuel of human selfishness, which is our desire to get money, like the economic engine that we built around that has become more efficient since 1929. We've added all these derivatives and all these things that make the market more efficient. It makes the engine more efficient. We get higher GDP per capita than we ever did. That's a more efficient engine, economic engine. But what we're finding now is that efficiency came at the cost of resiliency, because our engine is now so fucking complicated and it's so delicate and complex that some shock like coronavirus can upend the whole thing and break the whole motherfucker, right? And so our engine is just ground to a halt. And it's not a simple engine like it was in 1929. It is now like a really complex engine. So that's why I don't think anyone knows what's going to happen to our economy because of this. We'll find out. But what's happened is that our economy is just less resilient. It's more efficient, but it's less resilient. Of course, but that's where we have to rethink the healthcare, how to logistically, financially maximize. Yeah, we do need to rethink healthcare, and I think one of the things that's going to come out of this. Shit, I need to redo this. One of the things that's going to come out of this is healthcare reform. I hope. Shit, man, I don't know. Yeah, insurance companies hustle hospitals. They totally do. They don't pay. Sometimes they just literally don't pay. So hospitals will mark up as much as possible, knowing that the insurance companies will pay half or won't pay at all. Holly Healthcare is diving. Hey, bro, did you see the segment with your masks? Your masks were good, man. Canopus masks. They turned out really well, man. Really good stuff. Good brand. Canopus N95 respirator masks. Good brand of mask, at least in terms of the material. I think with any mask that has ear straps, it's just gonna have worse fit than like a shell mask. Where's my N95? Like than a shell mask that has head straps. Okay, hold on. I need to do this. 53234 11648 3724 and 406. All right, so now I'm doing the 2 layers of 100% cotton with this kind of glue, fabric glue in between, which I'm a little suspect of because I wonder if that would kind of like, maybe it apparently still allows air to go through. I'm getting this pretty fucking shit. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, I think we are going to talk about universal health care after this. I don't know if our government will ever do it, though. No, they will get less salary. I mean, it really even starts at the medical device companies. Like, doctors and... Really, Andrew? Like, I'm... Like, I want to know whether there's a comparison between kind of what doctors make, like, normalized to a standard of living, you know, something like that. I feel like American doctors get paid a lot, but I haven't actually looked into the numbers. I don't know, but I would imagine they would get paid less, and also medical device companies would get paid less, pharma companies, everyone would just get paid less. And those savings would get passed on to the consumer, or if it's like a single payer universal healthcare system, it'll be cheaper for the government because the government can negotiate, because everyone has to deal with one insurer, the U.S. government. So, fuck, okay, hold on, let me do this. 450, fucking Christ, 45105, 196, 1800, 463. Okay. Oh, Christ. So, since if it would become, I think doctors get this. Doctors and national insurance Medicare for all is dramatically popular with American specialized doctors make a lot. Yeah, so I think that with universal health care, the government will be able to negotiate better prices for everyone because everyone has to deal with the government. They'll hopefully be fair, you know. And then the hospitals simply focus on providing good care with as little cost as possible. And in that sense, the hospitals can make more money. But yeah, I think the hospitals in a private market, like, there's going to be winners and losers, and the hospitals that are good at what they do in the private market will make less money. And the hospitals that are bad will have a chance to not get eaten up by the hospitals that are good. Okay, what am I doing? Christ, control. I'm going to do this one again. Yeah, I think Andrew, you're right. There's a lot of efficiency things with having a single payer system. Like, it will become more efficient as hospitals don't have to do different types of paperwork for different types of insurance systems, and it's so complex, and you know, all these codes that you have to. It's really, the paperwork around it is just absurd. I have a lot of friends in my family who are doctors, and the insurance system is so complex and bloated. Yeah, it's really bad. Control run. Wait, what? What's going on? What happened? Hold up. What happened? That was weird. Okay. Let me know how well the mask. Okay. The mask did well, bro. Let me know how well the mask performed. Yeah. Hey, Andrew. So the masks, I tested them. They're right here. Wait. Are you talking about the Canopus one? Are you talking about these ones, bro? Foshan. The Canopus masks are made by Foshan Flying Medical Company. So I'm talking to somebody in chat. That he's the guy who sent me these masks. Trying to find more about them. 52231 11540 3617 456. Okay, so these masks are made by Foshan Flying Medical. Yeah, I know there's a delay in the stream. So, oops. Yeah, this one. Okay, cool. Is that like a known company or something? Cool. Fail. Okay, what am I doing? Shit. Okay, gonna do these. Second run with 2 layers of cotton. Okay, they're not NIOSH certified. FDA registered N95 provider. Okay, so that makes me believe that they're good and they have to reach a certain quality standard that will be audited and checked. And it did. Andrew, if you weren't there for the beginning, these are how your mask performed. So like pretty much 99%, it performed like a N99, 99% and above for all. So this is 0.3 micron, 0.5 micron, 1 micron, 2 micron. So yeah, 99% for 0.3 micron, 99.5, 1 micron, 2 micron. Yeah, they're good, man. 2 7 9 6 7 1 7 3 6 457. So you know, this cotton stuff starts becoming good at higher particle sizes. This is a 2 micron, 1 micron, 0.5 micron, 0.3 micron. It's not a great filter, 0.3 micron. It's not a great filter of smaller particles. But the larger particles, which is still really small, is it does a pretty good filtration of that stuff. Yeah, they were good, man. Good stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, what am I doing? So we got control running. We're gonna do this one, and then we're gonna test the melt blown polypropylene. And then, this computer's dying. It's skipping frames. Okay. Control is 51817. Whoa. Zero. Okay, I'm gonna do the three. So this is 3 layers of 100% cotton. It's 2 of the layers are actually, man, this is really stiff material. 2 of the layers are actually glued together with fabric glue, and the other layer is sewn on. So 3 total layers. Yeah. I like to do some melt blown polyprop. I'm probably not going to do more than 2 runs, but whatever. Okay, let's see what just happened. Oops. Oh, shit, it's not blown. Okay. God. All right, what do we got? 40606 6660. That's a bad sign. A lot of 6s in this one. 1221 272. That's interesting. So single layer, you know, really bad. Double layer, about 15%. Triple layer, a little bit more. You know, that's how it is. Oh no. Okay, gonna do control. Yeah, so yeah, bro, it's not that effective, man. Coffee filters. If I were to look at my previous, maybe I'll do a coffee filter if I can find it. Where would I put that? I'll do a coffee filter like next. Okay, what did I do? Oh yeah, coffee filter folded in half. It's not bad. It's good. I mean, it's better than most. Wow. Paper towel was pretty decent. That's 4 layers though. So coffee filter folded in 2 layers was 43% effective for 0.3 micron and 80% effective for 1 micron. 0.3 micron, 1 micron coffee filter. So So the handkerchief folded in 2 layers, which is probably close to this 100% cotton stuff. Kind of performed about the same way. Yeah, definitely for somebody maintaining 6 feet, any sort of mask is going to be good because you're probably, yeah, any mask is helpful. Yeah, coffee filter is not bad. It's 43% reduction, folded in 2 layers. Maybe I'll test folded in 1 layer. You would think that it'd be decent. The thing that I've learned is that any material that was meant to filter water is always going to have a higher pore size than a filter that was made to filter air. So, like coffee is a water filter. And so you'd expect it not to perform as well because you design a coffee filter to filter out water particles, which are just bigger. So you don't want tiny pores. You want big pores, so water can get through. Yeah. But so I found like air purifier filters and vacuum filters, because they're meant to filter out air, they perform well. The problem with vacuum filters, what am I doing? Is that they're just not very breathable. 51253 11385 3587 1503. Oh yeah, okay, so I'm gonna do this one again. Yeah, HEPA filter was freaking amazing. HEPA filter was like a 98% filtration capability. And you can get them like anywhere, They're just like HEPA air purifiers. Yeah, certain vacuum filters didn't work out super well. Like if I look back at this, there was one that was an amazing thing that I need to keep following up on to find out. Which was this felt, oh no, it was premotor felt, man. This shit was a 93% filtration effectiveness, and it feels like fabric. Whereas some of these other like vacuum bag type, like this stuff, is kind of gross. This is like the inside of a vacuum bag, so that has like this filter, which, yeah. I think I tested this one, the inner layer. That was good. Wow. Yeah. So this vacuum bag, inner layer was 78%, 77%. Pretty damn good. The outer layer, so this one was, 27%. But this inner layer was, 78%. 77%. Yeah. HEPA filter was great, 97%. Kitchen towels weren't very good. Kind of like your normal, like everyday fabrics weren't that great. This stuff was great, man. This was really cool stuff. It was the premotor felt for a Febreze Shark XFF36. Okay, come. That's my mom. She brought me chips and guac. That's so sweet. Yeah. So, yeah. Most fabrics, though, this is the really sad thing, is that most fabrics were in this range, and kind of some of the stuff I'm testing today is kind of like in this range of like not great. Dang, this was good. I remember this thing. High air resistance though. This one is pretty good for for the breathability of it. Yeah. Yeah, this is like the inner bag. This can easily be made in part of a face mask. Yeah. Okay. God. 40034 6907 1385 335. Yeah, so the 3 layers of cotton. You know, this is 2 layers of cotton. It's about 15%. 1 layer of cotton was, 6%. 3 layers of cotton has kind of increased it a little bit. Became a pretty decent filter for like the larger 2 micron particles and 1 micron particles and 0.5 micron particles and 0.3 micron particles. But in general, like fabrics I found to be not great filters. Single layer of cotton. Yeah. Okay, I gotta put this away somewhere. Okay. Yeah. Okay, the problem with the premotor felt, Andrew, is it's really small. So I'm trying to contact P&G to send me like a sheet of it, but it looks like. Oh, man. Put it. Fuck. 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 Double fuck. I'll look for this. Oh, here it is. So this is the premotor felt. It comes in this, damn, where's that box? It's the Febreze, yeah, but it only comes in this size. I'm trying to contact them to send me this fabric. It's incredible, and it feels like cotton. You know, it's very breathable. Very breathable. It smells like Febreze too. That's not a bonus, actually. It's overwhelming. But this fabric is really good. I think it is melt blown polypropylene. Actually, that's one thing I'm gonna test now. So one thing I want to test now is I bought this melt blown polypropylene, just the sheets of it from Amazon. I have to look up the actual, if there's like a brand associated with it. I hope this is the thing that I bought. So it's sheets of melt blown polypropylene. So this is the same stuff that surgical masks are made out of. It's basically polypropylene, which is like a plastic, fibers. And they're melted, kind of like melted together. Wow. Let me cut out a piece. I'll put a scissor now. Okay. Yeah, so melt blown polypropylene. I think this is gonna do well, but I'm not sure. Why did I cut such a big piece? Melt blown polypropylene. I actually need to make sure it's melt blown polypropylene. I really don't know what it is. I need to look at my Amazon orders. Okay, so I'm gonna do control. Oh, only 30 minutes. Okay. Of what polypropylene? Melt blown. MELTBLOWN. So basically, you're taking sheets of polypropylene fibers. You're kind of compressing them and kind of like melting them together, and that's what a filter is. Basically, if the fibers of the melt blown are thin enough, then when you melt them together, it kind of creates this tortuous path that air has to travel through to get through the filter. Imagine it's like you're in a big concert, like in the pit, and you're trying to get like from the back to the front of the pit in a concert. And if that floor is super dense, then it's going to take you a long time to get to the front. And most likely you're going to get stuck in the middle, and you're just going to be like, yeah from the middle, because there's no way you get into the front. That's a good filter, right? So a bad filter is like a really bad band throwing a concert. And nobody's in the pit, and so you could just get to the front really easily. Oh yeah, so the control was 49741 1112. That's a lot of ones. 11112 3697 1510. Okay, so melt blown. MELTBLO polypropylene. So this is the same stuff that surgical masks are made of. Like probably the filter layer inside a surgical mask is going to look similar to this. Can't really see it. I should take apart a surgical mask. Please be a good filter. Please be a good filter. Oh, I ripped it. Fuck. Oh my god, this thing is just ripping up. Oh, it's not very strong. I have to be careful. Wow. Fuck. Rip it. Okay, let's try it. See what happens. piece, man. Yeah, it's really flimsy. Oh, wow, it's doing great. Holy shit, this stuff is working. Oh, it's a good filter. It's not gonna, it's like N95, just looking at these counts. That's good. That's really good. Cool. That's really cool. Yeah, so Andrew, hold on. I'm gonna try to do multiple things at once. 1801. Wow, cool. 92, 4, and 0. So wow, this stuff was a 96% filtration of 0.3 micron, and then 99% above. Man, that shit is good. And there's a ton of it. So this is the raw material that they make surgical masks out of. This melt-blown polypropylene, sheets of it. So what's happening, and this is generally polypropylene fibers. This is kind of like the general material that is being used in N95 surgical masks. For specifically surgical masks, they're melt-blown. So it becomes this really thin sheet. Wow, that's incredible. Those are amazing numbers. Okay, so in terms of accounting for, it's just really flimsy, man. Like, I can just tear this paper up. It's like, it's like very terrible. But if it's in the filter layer of a mask, then it won't get torn up like that, and it'll be a good filter. This is really good stuff. Really good stuff. All right, I'm gonna do another control. Yeah, really impressive. So, what's interesting though is that no, that's really cool. This is really good stuff. Okay, what I was gonna do, I was gonna try to find out what brand it is on Amazon by looking at my orders. What the fuck? Running late. I think that's it. Delivered May 4th. Yeah. Okay. So this is the thing I bought on Amazon. It is a Zazenconch non-woven fabric microfiber melt blown cloth, disposable middle layer filter fabric, polypropylene sediment filters for filtering, layer application, filtering efficiency greater than 95%. So they even say it's greater than 95%, and I have confirmed it. It is greater than 95%. So, yeah. That's interesting. Well, that worked. That was good. That's like progress. 47559 111. So I didn't answer your question about the how do I count for. Hold on, let me just finish this. 438. Okay, so I'm doing my second run of this melt blown polypropylene. I'm gonna be a little bit careful because it tears so easily. Okay. So, how do you count for the velocity of particles? Sneeze, cough. Yeah. So I was talking about that earlier on the stream. So the problem is that this particle counter is not really designed to do this type of testing. Okay, this particle counter is meant for like a clean room. It's meant to sit on like a table or the floor and like count particles in the room constantly throughout the day, all day, 24/7, things like that. So it actually has a very low flow rate. The flow rate is 0.1 cubic feet per minute. Whereas I was just looking it up today, the average inspiratory flow rate, so the average air flow rate for a human, I found to be about 60 liters per minute, which is about 2.1 cubic feet per minute. And so this particle counter is 0.1 cubic feet per minute compared to a human breathing, which is 2.1. All right, so we're talking an order of magnitude slower. So this is not as indicative of even normal breathing, much less a cough. And air flow rate affects like filter ability as well. Okay, this is good stuff. Melt blown polyprop, really good stuff. I wonder if I can make some masks out of this. I wonder if somebody can make them for me. This will actually give me a type of material to try to make an N95 mask out of household materials. Not household, but at least I got this from Amazon. Good. All right. You know what? Let me do like a. So let me just do a different type of coffee filter. So I tested this one last time, but I never tested this one. It's also great value, white coffee filters. These are just from Walmart. So let me try this one, just for comparison's sake, just for shits and giggles, man. Oh, God. I'm just going to start with one layer. So these are great value coffee filters, basket. I imagine it's probably the same material as the coffee filters number 4. Tone. But I never actually tested, let me do control. I never actually tested one layer of it. Oh shit, not blown. I gotta look back at the historical results for that. So I'm gonna do coffee, maybe 2 layers, 3 layers. Coffee filter, great value, basket, basket shape. Okay, so coffee filter, oh yeah, so I need to record this. Four 7 507 1364 3540 1386. Okay, yeah, so gonna do this coffee filter here. Okay. Doubling up. Okay, so I'm gonna do a 2-layer coffee filter too. Yeah. Doubling them up, huh? So you just use 2 layers? Okay, I can just do that. Let's do 2 layers. Let's do 2 layers. Okay, so what's cool is I'm going to be getting on a call with my friend Yoon Nam, who is helping me do like art for Project Human, and she just completed this piece, and I'm going to have her talk about it, and we're going to talk about this idea also for this archetypal story that I think would be really cool if it was made into a comic book. I don't know how we would do that, but it would be cool just to talk about it. In fact, I'm probably just going to get on a call with her. Well, let me finish this stuff, and then I'll get on a call with her. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to be talking to her about that. I either fold mine into fourths or put 2 on top of each other. Okay, yeah. Coffee filter, great value. What am I doing? Oh, wow, that didn't perform very well, guy. That's bad. Fuck. 40585. 7780. 2096. 740. Yeah, that was not good. That was pretty bad. All right, cool, Drew. Hey, thanks for coming in, man. I appreciate it. Yeah, this coffee filter didn't turn out very good. I think this one did pretty well. This one was good. This one just, I don't know, didn't end up very good. So I'm going to do this section. Okay. Fuck. I did not do another control. I'm such a... God damn it. Fuck you. Fuck this shit, man. Alright, I'm gonna do control. I gotta go back and fill in this other marble. No problem, bro. It's been fun. I'm doing it for fun. You know, trying. You know, I'm trying to help, but I'm also trying to have fun. You know? I think it's important for us to do. Yeah, man, thanks for coming on stream and chatting it up. Thanks for sending me the Canopus masks. Those were good masks. Good masks. Canopus N95 particle respirators. Okay, 4, 6. Oh man. Ooh. Light cherries. Okay. I'm gonna do 2 layers next. There's been huge differences between this and control. Three seven 979 310 1720 631. Yeah, not great filters. Oops. Okay, I need to go back and find this number. So the good thing about this particle counter has a history. So I'm gonna go back to, okay, so 3005. Ooh, this one was bad. 3005 196. Good enough. 12 2. Yeah, so the melt blown was 95, and then pretty much 99% for everything above that. So this stuff was really good. Really good. It was the Zozanx melt blown polypropylene. It comes in sheets, and I think it would work really well as like an insert layer for like a cloth face mask, for instance. Yeah, so for instance, this cloth face mask has like an insert layer where you can slip maybe a piece of this melt blown polypropylene like inside, and then it becomes like a really good particle filter, right? You put this filter in just like somebody would put a coffee filter in, and then, you know, I gotta cut it right, and then it becomes a better mask, right? Melt blown polypropylene. That's really cool. Okay, yeah. All right, what am I doing? Coffee filters. Yeah, coffee filters. I'm doing 2 layers of coffee filters. That's what I'm doing. So this stuff was not good. I tested this one and it was pretty good. I might do another test again while I'm talking to you. So I'm gonna do 2 layers and see how that affects a coffee filter. 2 layers, so it's 2 of them. Oh wow. So I'm gonna hop on the call. Maybe I should start a new stream for that. Oops. Oh man, I didn't do a control. Man, I'm so pissed. Okay. What am I gonna do? I am going to. That's really good stuff. That melt blown polypropylene was really good stuff. I wonder if I can change streams. I'm glad that I have like 3 viewers though. It's a record. Okay, oops. Yeah, what am I doing? Okay, that's the control. I'm gonna call you in. Okay, hold on, let me finish this. 4, 5, 5, 2, 5. Eddie, cool man. Yeah, the melt blown. Yeah, that stuff was good. That was interesting. I think I'm gonna try to turn that into a mask. Like, the thing that I also learned is that what kind of like is gonna make it hard to make a good mask is that fit on the face is super important. Like, these things are designed very well. These N95s that 3M makes, the shell ones, they're designed really well so that it's like a really good fit. And if you have even a small opening, like for instance in the nose area, because it's like kind of a hard interface instead of like fatty like a cheek, man, efficiency can drop like 60%. This can go from 95% filtration to 20%. No, let me pull it, Tom. Let me pull it. Okay, okay. Okay, there you go. Okay. My aunt made me papaya salad with pecans. Ah, it's good, man. Ah, Thai food. I get Thai food every day now. Đi mà. Đi. Đi mà. Phương. Alright, do you guys want to, I'm gonna call my friend right now while I do this. And, I'm gonna have her talk about this cool art piece that she made for Project Human. And then we're gonna kind of hash out a story idea that I had that would be like a comic book. That's, oh shit, archetypal. Yeah, I was thinking about combining it with cloth, but the fit was also wearing, wow, dropped by 60%. Yeah, like look at these results, Eddie. So this is mask worn on face. So I started doing these tests about okay, so do I have tight nose guard, open nose guard? Okay, so like, so I was testing this mask. Oh, cool. It is delicious, Michelle. It is really delicious. It's papaya salad. If you guys ever go to Thai, like a Thai restaurant, try it. It's called papaya salad. It'll be like in the appetizer section. It's like young papaya, shredded, and then, you know, in like a sour and oftentimes very spicy, with beans or other types of stuff, you know, and usually they'll have like dried shrimp in it, which I don't like, and so I'm glad that my aunt makes it where it's not. Yeah. So anyways, I was doing these tests on these masks, and so this test was a tight nose guard. So I just made sure that the nose guard was just really tight, and then I did a test with the same mask with the nose guard open, just like that, just like this much, you know, like there's clearly air coming in and out, and the effectiveness went down to like 30%. Not great. So I did the same thing with like a surgical mask. With the open nose guard, it was pretty much just air coming through. Like, I see a lot of people wearing like their surgical mask like this. You know? Yeah, it's called something. Yeah. So, I see people wearing masks like this, and this is really bad. Because if you don't, like, you know, they don't even bend the nose. you're pretty much just breathing air. Nothing is going through the filter. The way fluid dynamics works is airflow is going to be inversely proportional to air resistance. And the resistance going through like a filter material is so much higher than just straight up air. So a disproportionate amount of air is going to come in through all the sides, and not a lot of air is going to come in through the filter. So with the surgical mask, having an open nose guard, it was just as good as breathing air. Tight nose guard turned out decent. And then when I physically held the surgical mask to my face like this, and just really prevented any air from coming in, then I was able to get this mask to like perform really, really well. It's kind of interesting, actually. And then I showed that, you know, if you hold the straps tight, like the problem with these ear straps is like it doesn't create a tight fit, but if I kind of held it like this, and you can just tell that it was just better fitting. And then that improved the percentage to like 60 to 70%. So some people have been putting like a paper clip, and so instead of using it as ear straps, they kind of put a paper clip like right here, and then that kind of holds it. I mean, I can do that actually. So, like for instance, you take a paper clip and then you kind of put it on a mask. Oh, shit. Yeah, like that. And then, maybe that's not going to work. Maybe you do like this. Yeah. So I've heard people doing like that. So that does feel much tighter and better. Yeah. Yeah, so I just put a paper clip there and it just feels tighter, which is better. It's really important to get a good solid nose guard. So you kind of kink it and then you conform it to your cheek. And then make sure to pull the mask under your chin. Yeah, kind of putting this paper clip has actually helped. There's definitely not air coming in, at least probably not much coming in through the sides. It just feels like a much better fit. Yeah. I can feel the air is mostly. Yeah. So that's good. So just like a tip. Oh, shit. Yeah. What am I doing? Christ. Alright. I gotta call my friend. Filter 2 layers. Okay, 31001. 4182. 753. 226. So, coffee filter 2 layers. Okay for larger particles. These are 2 micron particles, 1 micron particles, which are actually very small particles. And, yeah. Yep. So I'm going to call my friend who's an artist, and we're going to talk about this piece that she made for Project Human. I'm going to probably be doing like these tests while she's talking. And I think it'd be really cool kind of here. And then we're going to talk about this story idea that I had, and hopefully we can collaborate on it. Yeah, hey. Awesome, Eddie. Yeah, man. Thanks for subscribing. That's cool. All right. So, what am I doing? Christ. Andrew. Senior proof. That's awesome, Drew. Okay, I'm gonna call Yoon. I want to talk to her about this art piece. Yeah, let me pull up her piece, which is really cool. Okay. Yeah, so, Facebook doesn't ever do a good job with quality. Maybe I should have her send the actual. It's still pretty cool. This is what she made. Very cool stuff. Follow her if you can. And, Troll 44790 11085 3619 1478. Okay. One last task. I just want to give her my undivided attention. Okay. Filters. Later. Oh, that's beautiful. That's pretty neat. Okay. Okay, last test. Okay, 30,000. There's 185. And then 4107. And 721. 214. So, coffee filter 2 layers compared to 1 layer. So 1 layer is about 15%, 2 layers is about 30%. It's alright. I found some other coffee filters that were better than this one. This is definitely the cheaper stuff. Great value. Basket. Anyways. So I'm going to see if my friend is available. So I think I can. I don't even know if I can call her. I would have to enable Wi-Fi calling. I need to do that. How do I enable Wi-Fi calling? Alright, so I'm going to take some controls and end the experiment. Wi-Fi calling. Okay. So I'm gonna call Yoon. Okay. Phone is not configured to allow calls using this Mac. Fuck. I need to enable Wi-Fi calling. Okay. What? So Andrew, so I found other coffee filters that were good. Those were like the basket coffee filters, and that wasn't very good. So this one, so the ones I tested today were these ones. They're like these great value basket filters, and the ones I tested before were these ones. It's also great value, but they were the cone filters. Honestly, it just looks like better quality, and the filter just looks better. You could just tell it's like a stiffer material compared to like this thing, which is like pretty flimsy, you know, compared to like this stuff, which is like thicker kind of material. This one performed at like 70%, 2 layers. It's really good, and it's also great value. These are great value as well. This is like number 4 coffee filters. So this will make sure your coffee is nice and strained. So these coffee filters aren't that bad. I guess it depends on kind of the brand. Whoa, hey, Yoon, are you there? Did this work? I did not see this work. Ah, it didn't work. Whatever, man. Oh, here. Oh, cool. Is that working? Hello? Hello? That didn't work. Okay, that didn't work. Hello? Huh. Oh, hello? Hello? Ian, are you there? Hello? Hey, Yoon, are you there? Somebody's there. Hey, this is not working though. Hello? Hello? Ah, the desktop audio is not working. No, this is not working. Fuck. I'm just gonna call her straight up. Ah, Christ, okay. Hello?
Hello?
Hey, Yoon, how you doing?
Good, good. How are you?
Awesome, good. Just got some interesting results when I was doing this kind of like filtration testing on stream. You were on stream, by the way, to
Oh, okay.
to all 2 of my viewers.
No.
Anyways, so yeah, I found
Nice.
some good stuff. One of my friends sent me. People have been sending me masks to
Right.
test. Like it's kind of becoming like the acceleration of that has been exponential. As in more and more people. Like I'm getting people contacting me who I don't even know. Like this guy from Spain contacted me, and he's gonna send me some masks to test as well. He's not even sure it's gonna make it through like customs though. Yeah.
From Sweden?
Spain. From Spain.
From Spain?
Yeah. I was talking to him in Spanish a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, if anyone in the world is going to be kind of apprehensive about opening up the country, it's gonna be them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Mm.
Yep. So, yeah. So we just finished that, and then I tested some coffee filters. Actually, I bought this melt-blown polypropylene. These sheets. It's the same material that they make surgical masks out of, and polypropylene fibers in general is what they make N95 masks out of, and it performed really well. So I'm going to try to make that into a mask. Yeah. Yeah, so those were some interesting results. Some good results. You know, because I've seen some masks that actually perform really terribly. Like, it's kind of, like, messed up. They're usually from China. In fact, only the ones that have performed badly are the ones that have come from China.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Do you think it's just because they're cranking them out so quickly, or?
Yeah, there's a lot of, like, companies converting their vacuum factories and shit like that into mask making factories. So they don't really know what they're like. I've worked in manufacturing, and so that means it's a completely new line, completely newly trained people, and then I'm pretty sure they threw quality control out the door to make shipments, right?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, just to meet the demand, right? Because the demand is so crazy.
Yeah.
Right now.
Exactly. So. Yeah. Yeah, it's a little crazy. Yeah, so that's what I did. I might end up, is this a good time, by the way?
Oh, yeah.
Everything's good? Okay, awesome.
Yeah. I might sound a bit distracted from time to time because I'm photoshopping on the side.
Yeah, me too. I'm finishing up this experiment.
Right.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a distracted conversation, which is I don't know. It's like let's see how that goes, right? It's like we're in a new world, brave new world. You know, in order for everything to stay the same, everything has to change. You know, and I think we're gonna find new paradigms of interacting. I really do believe that new art is going to come out of this great pause, you know?
I do think it is too. Like just historically speaking, like longer periods of recession or depression, or in general just hardship, always saw like a boom of a cultural boom afterwards.
Got it.
So, like a lot of like situations like these usually like tend to fuel art.
Why do you suppose that is?
Hmm?
Why do you suppose that is?
Well, because you know, it's given something to actually react to. It's given something to talk about, basically. Because as we like discussed earlier, like art is for many people still a primarily a mode of expression and communication. And communication and expression is going to flourish if there are things to talk about. Yeah. And there's nothing more worthy of talking about that's going to reach the most people than joint hardship within a society. So.
Yeah, I agree. There's something where it stokes the fires of the soul, you know, these periods of hardship, of struggle in general, you know?
Like a lot of, and I don't know how it's going to be with fine art, or what is like presented as fine art nowadays, because it's so removed from social happenings or just generally the real world. But anything that comes closer to pop culture is going to see like a massive influx of content, I would say.
Pop
Like
culture
a lot of,
specifically? Pop culture specifically?
pop culture specifically, like incredibly enduring pop culture icons came from the Great Depression or the Second World War, like Superman,
Yeah.
right? Or Batman.
Yeah, and it's usually, the way things are, in pop culture, it is, like, for instance, the Rocky movies, right? It was like
Right.
Rocky against Ivan Drago, right? That's when we were in a Cold War with Russia, right?
Right.
And so, yeah, it's very true that the pop culture references start using that, Which is interesting
Right.
because that's kind of the idea of this story idea, this comic book idea that I want to talk about. But actually, I really want to talk about your work, starting with that, and first, like maybe like a kind of introduction for yourself.
Right.
Just yeah, just give me a short blurb about like what you do and yeah. If you're listening to
Well, just
Radiolab,
like
they always make them do that. Basically, you say your name and then what you do. What you do.
Right.
Yeah.
So my name is Yun Nam.
Yeah.
And I am primarily a visual artist. I also work as a special effects artist and makeup artist. I've worked as a graphic designer, tattoo artist, illustrator, anything that has to do with drawing, painting, or making shit, then I've probably done it, or I'm probably going to end up doing it at some point in my life.
Yeah. So
that's how it's moving.
Very cool. So this is the piece of work that she did, and then also I'm just pulling out your stuff on screen. And she made me this head too. This head is awesome. It is basically it has these tubes. I wanted these tubes where I could put a paintball gun to simulate a cough, so it actually comes out of his mouth, and this other tube like pulls air through the nose. It is insane. It is crazy looking. It freaked out my aunt, by the way.
Yeah. Mission accomplished. Freak someone out.
Yeah, this is amazing stuff. It's got all these like veins in the head.
Yeah. Whenever I hear that someone got freaked out, I'm like, yeah, I've done my job today.
Yeah, that's totally your style, That's totally your style.
I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I see the current running through like your work. Yeah. So you know what? I'll just cut up the video later. So tell me about this. So you haven't named it, you don't plan to name it.
Yeah, I usually don't. Just because I'm bad at naming stuff. And I stopped doing it when I was doing like a huge number of drawings for like a larger series.
Yeah.
And it ended up being like almost 60 drawings. And at some point you just can't keep up with the titling. So I ended up I usually end up giving I give series titles.
Yeah.
And try to pull all the works into one series, and then within that series they'll usually get like a number, like a serial number, just so I can keep track of them.
Yeah.
But sometimes a motive is strong enough so that individual piece of work gets a title, just because I feel like the title is going to complement it in some way when people are looking at it. But if that's not the case, if I can't find something that I want to add to the reading of a work, then I usually just don't do it. because it's just at some point it becomes a bit arbitrary.
Yeah, I agree. I don't name any of my stuff too because it doesn't really. It's not like you come up with the name before you do it. You come up with the name
Right.
afterwards. It's like it's an adjunct to the piece, and sometimes it detracts from it, or it doesn't even add to it, or it takes away from it.
Right.
It's like we were
Or
talking about.
sometimes,
Yeah.
yeah, but sometimes I've had it that I come up with a title very very early on when I'm
Interesting.
sketching it out.
Yeah.
For instance, like the triptychon I sent you. Do
The
you remember?
the triptych.
Yeah, the larger black and
What did you
white
call it? I call it
triptychon.
really. Is it spelled the same way? Triptych?
It's probably it was spelled the same way. I just don't
Have I been
know
pronouncing it wrong the whole
the
time?
German equivalent, the English equivalent.
Yeah, I think they're different words. The one it's like a triptych, which is like a staple of like medieval kind of art, like religious art, things like that.
Right.
Yeah, that the three panel. I'm gonna pull up just a an example for people to see. But yeah, yeah. What about and so
Yeah.
you were talking about the triptych? Yeah.
Yeah, that's something. When I was sketching it out and gathering references, I came up with a title like right away, and
Uh,
so that one ended up having an individual title.
got it.
Right,
Yeah,
and which
yeah.
was, funnily enough, maybe relevant to what we're doing now. The title of that piece was "Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Happiness."
Which one?
The lithograph I sent you, the triptych.
Yeah, let me pull it up. Let me just dig it from my emails. Oh, cool. Thanks for sending me the high res. That way I can show it like and look into the details.
Oh yeah, I don't upload larger data on Facebook, but that's the full size data I
Facebook,
sent.
yeah, Facebook down samples it too. It's not a good way to show
Right.
art. Um,
Which is good too, because it also lets you like download pictures like willy nilly, and if you're uploading artwork and putting up like full resolution stuff, then it's gonna be an issue at some point if it's not like sized
yeah.
down a bit.
Nah, I think you're right. Yeah, exactly.
Just because of usage and publication rights and so on and so forth.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's bad because sometimes when I upload stuff onto Facebook and it just looks terrible. The colors are wrong, because of the compression, things like
Oh
that.
god, yeah, I've had bad experiences with that too. Like I did a CD cover a while ago, and I was talking to the client, um, sending pictures back and forth via Facebook Messenger because that's what he preferred. And
Yeah.
I was kind of getting the feeling like, oh, this is not going right. We're talking in circles about something. We're not on the same page about something. And then he sent me a screenshot of what he was looking at, and the colors were all
Oh,
blown
yeah.
out
Exactly.
because something in his Facebook app was converting the image in a
Yeah.
weird way. And I was like, oh my god, what the fuck are you looking at?
Well, it might have
That's
just
like
been
seriously
Facebook.
not what I'm working on.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Like, yo!
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. 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 I'm with you.
Yeah,
Yeah. It really sucks.
that was bad. I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Being very bad.
Yeah. I'm trying to pull up that image from the triptych that you made.
Let me actually see
No, I
if
got
I
it.
can
I got it. I
faster.
got it. No,
Okay.
I just found it. I don't know if you sent me a good high res image, but
It probably was like decent resolution because I
yeah.
pulled it out of my website. Where did that window go? Menu? Oh, here we go. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. Hey, I think maybe it'd be better if we set up, if I set up like a new stream for this, and then just post it again. That way, it's like it does not matter too much. It won't affect anything that you're doing. I'll just have to be doing this stuff on the side. But anyways, I'm showing your triptych right now. Yeah, tell me about this.
I'm actually following the stream.
Oh, you're on the
I
stream.
think there's a bit of a delay.
Yeah, there's gonna be a huge delay. How bad is it? I don't even know. Yeah. Like.
So, did you pull the image up already?
Yeah.
On your computer?
I did.
Yeah, because no, it's not getting there.
Yeah, I imagine it's at least probably like a 2-minute delay, maybe, or a 1 minute. I don't know. I was talking to some people who were chatting, and
oh, now I see it. Yeah.
Yeah, that was probably like a 30-second delay, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there must be a significant delay, but yeah, that's the thing. That's the oh god, yeah.
What's so god?
I know, I'm just remembering because that's from like 2016, I think.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's from 2016.
So
I did that one in mute.
What was your medium?
That's lithograph. It's a stone
Lithograph.
print.
Wow, that's fucking crazy. Yeah. Tell me about what you were thinking for this piece. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
It's like this was kind of the part of the series where I was trying to like visualize what basically what I had been studying academically, and it's basically the stuff that we've talked about before, like human creativity and being linked to the pursuit of immortality.
I don't know, they poop up. That's my mom. This is hilarious. Okay, yeah, keep going. You'll see my mom on stream in about 30 seconds. Okay, so yeah. So this is 2016. Yeah. Have I lost you? You still there?
Yeah, I'm still there.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, all right. Very cool about the triptych. Really neat. Now, tell me about. I'm gonna pull up. Yeah. Let's see. Is this gonna be good? I'm gonna full screen it. Oh, what happened? My computer is dying. My computer cannot handle this. This is like a 2019, and it's like can't handle. Just can't even handle streaming.
That was last year.
I know. Yeah, it's a MacBook. I mean, it's a MacBook Air, and that's probably the problem. But it's a joke. It's like an absolute joke. Like how bad it is.
Oh really?
Yeah, I can't even work. Like I literally am gonna have to buy a new computer if I plan to stream and do like even Photoshop. I have to shut up Google Chrome. I gotta shut off like all my apps, and still my fan is blowing like 100%, and it's like super laggy. Yeah.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Do you feel like quality has like gone down on Mac products in general?
No, I think it's honestly because this is a MacBook Air. So MacBook
Right.
Air compared to a MacBook Pro would have like a much shittier graphics processor, video card processor, and that is what it's doing when you're streaming. And so,
Right.
but I didn't think it would be this bad. Like I didn't think it would
Right.
be like unusable if I'm streaming. Like my computer is unusable if I'm streaming, like barely
Right.
usable.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, like when I hear that, I'm like, yeah, no, there's no way I can stream and do Photoshop at the same time, or stream myself doing Photoshop.
Not with your
Because, like,
computer.
I
Now,
got a Lenovo from 2016 or 2015 or something.
right, not with your computer. That's not gonna work.
With a broken screen too.
Okay, yeah, that's not gonna work. I know. It's like
Sorry,
if mine can't
mine.
handle it, yeah, yours is definitely not going to handle
Yeah,
it.
as soon as I start streaming and want to open up Photoshop, like sometimes even with just Photoshop, it goes like
Oh, I know.
So it's probably just going to like explode into a million pieces.
Wow. Yeah.
Lol.
Yeah. You need to invest in better tech.
Yeah, like yeah, I really need to. Like I'm thinking of like at some point switching over to just a tower PC again, just because I don't use a mobile computer as much as I used to. So
I got it.
probably just gonna invest in a like a decent like gaming grade PC. That's usually the best bang for the buck for me.
Oh, so do you have a gaming PC right now? Because that's exactly what you need. You need a good video card processor. Honestly, like being an old computer is probably okay as long as you have a good video graphics processor. You play games?
So I think the only saving grace for my Lenovo is because it was designed as a gaming PC, and I upgraded the RAM on it, so it has really fat RAM, like the maximum the system can handle, and it has probably like I do not remember the exact specs for it because it was ages ago.
Oh,
but
wow,
I remember it having like decent graphics capabilities for the time.
Oh, sure.
Like at the time, which is 2015.
Yeah, so, that lasts for about 3 months before it becomes obsolete. Right?
But yeah, the only reason it's like still performing more or less, especially when it comes to things that are very heavy on the RAM, like Photoshop work, is probably because it was a gaming PC and I upgraded the RAM back then. But otherwise it wouldn't be performing at all, I would say. But I am actually surprised that everything else but the monitor is holding up really good, because it's been like 5 years.
Really?
Yeah.
5 years. I mean.
Yeah, 2015. So.
Yeah, that thing is like ancient. It's ancient.
That's a dinosaur. Yeah.
That's a dinosaur. Yeah. It's okay as long as it's working out for you, you know.
Yeah, but I seriously need to upgrade my gear. And I have also good other incentives to upgrade my gear because I'm a PC gamer. So.
Are you? So tell me about the games that you play.
Pardon?
Tell me about the games that you play.
I grew up playing Doom.
I love games. I mean, yeah. Sorry, say that again?
I'm a big FPS fan.
Are you?
Yes, I am. When I was like 15 or something, 14, 15, I used to be like really into COD too, and endured countless hours of incredible.
Tend to be girls.
Right.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, things do get ugly sometimes. I could kind of cheat my way through it by pretending to be a boy because I have a relatively deep voice.
Does it pass?
Oh yeah, especially like in Asia, because back then it was in South Korea and South Korean servers, right? So it's Asian teenage boys, and my voice was at least as low as theirs.
Interesting.
So I was like, yeah, I could like it would last like a good couple of matches, but then at some point someone would figure it out. I'd be like, God damn it. But yeah, like FPSs and huge like time sync RPGs. I'm not the kind of person who buys like 10 games a year. I usually stick to like 1 or 2 titles I really want to sink time in, and just stick with those because it's not a cheap hobby, gaming.
Yeah.
Games are expensive.
I know. Yeah. So, What do you think about? Are you into the Final Fantasy stuff?
I've never played Final Fantasy.
I've only played the first one.
Any-
Yep, it does. I only played Final Fantasy 1,
right.
and I never ended up playing the other ones, and so I never played 7. So I actually
Right.
want to play 7 remake, because I heard, everyone knows that 7 was one of the best in the whole series.
Yeah, it's like this landmark game, right?
Yeah, it was. So, yeah, I plan to do that, but maybe when I have more time. I
Yeah,
had to give up too. I played StarCraft back in the day. I mean,
right.
yeah, my that's even more strategic. So, uh,
Yes.
huh?
Age of Empire type of
Age of
thing.
Empires, yeah, it would be a real-time
Yeah.
strategy.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I played
StarCraft is
that.
like that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I never did StarCraft, but I did some Age of Empires. But I was like,
Okay.
what did I sink a lot of time in recently? Like it was Crusader Kings 2. Oh my god.
What the heck is
Oh
that?
yeah,
I've never heard of
that
that
one.
one. Yeah.
But yeah, StarCraft, aren't those like strategy games? Those eat time. Those are like black holes, aren't they?
Well, for StarCraft 2, they designed it so the games last about maybe like 15, 20 minutes. So, for instance,
Oh,
like StarCraft
I
1, the games, and this is part of the game design. I have friends who design games. And so
right,
part of what goes into that is designing a game. They're like, okay, we want we want to design a game that's going to last about X minutes, And
right.
so that, and nowadays, like, games are becoming shorter and shorter because we're having shorter and shorter attention spans, you know?
And also less time, because I
Yeah.
think one of the biggest factors for the gaming industry is that the core gaming public, because it's such a young medium, is starting to get older. They're starting to be in their 30s and 40s, where they have other responsibilities and not the infinite
Yeah.
free time anymore.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of companies had to shift towards a more casual approach. So it becomes a game that you can just turn on and have a quick play for like 20 minutes and then turn off again instead of
Yep.
being glued to it for 3 hours.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's a different world that we live in. These games compete with your phones now, whereas prior we
Right?
had like sole attention. We didn't even have flip phones back then. Maybe we just starting to have flip phones, and so you actually, I think, our society back then was a much more focused society. Now we're constantly being hit with, like, bombarded with second screens and like third screens now. And so, we're both
Right.
working on our Photoshop and our stuff while we're talking, right? And it's like
Right.
that's kind of like
That is true.
that's
Yeah.
why this has happened. And those like documentaries I mentioned yesterday about Baraka and
Right.
Samsara, right? So Baraka was made in 1992, and I think Samsara was made in 2010 or 12 or 11, something like
Oh,
that.
I see.
Each shot was about 20 seconds long, and like watching it now feels like an eternity. It's like, wow, can you please move on to the next one? You know? But it's like it just reflects kind of like, and Samsara, it's like it's more like 10 seconds, per shot.
Oh,
And
I
it
see what
and
you
it
mean.
just kind of reflects like our society, the attention span of our society, and just that idea that, like, as a society our attention span has just shrunk to
Gone.
like some ridiculously small, like, amount to do this type of stuff. We were meant to hunt an animal, and find berries, and all of these are very focus oriented tasks. We weren't meant to be doing like 50 things at the same time, you know?
Right.
And
But yeah, but it also feeds into like capacity to be distracted by flashy and shiny things. Is
yes,
that used to help in gathering stuff on one hand, and on the other hand, it used to help you fend off predators.
yeah,
Social media is sort of feeding on basically.
yep,
Like driving your my last work session ended up being like 16 hours. I need to take like short power naps every now and then, and like keep myself fed and stuff like that, because like I'm like dead for 2 days if I do that. So I'm like, yeah, no, I gotta take care of myself. So I slept a little bit. I took a little power nap like 2 hours ago too. So yeah, but that was long. But I needed to like ride out that final momentum a bit, because otherwise that was just gonna drag on.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
I can imagine.
Yeah.
It's interesting, like that state that of mind when you're in that. I call it beast mode, and
Right.
tell me about that for you. Like this 16 hours. Like tell me about hour 8 or just some random arbitrary hour. What is it that your mind state is in? Like what is your mind state in when you're in this mode?
So I'm pretty like I'm feeling pretty good. Like I'm like pretty very motivated about it, because I'm kind of riding out momentum.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I gotta do this and I gotta do that and just push through and get it done. And I have very good work speed when I'm in that mode. And basically, I just have to. Like if I kind of get into that, if I can like feel myself getting into that like final push and in that kind of a concentration, I'm like, okay, I gotta catch it and then try and ride it out as long as possible until I can finish it.
Yeah.
Because that's the most productive that I can ever be.
Tell me about your perception of time during those periods.
Oh, it flies by. Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting,
Yeah.
right? It means that you're operating in the present moment. And that's when your brain state is in its most optimal state. If you go back to Eastern philosophy, right? It's all about being in the present moment. And when you're in the present moment, time is I mean in some ways doesn't have a concept, because there's only the now.
Right?
Yeah. And so, athletes will call it being in the zone, and they achieve this level of meditation, is what it is. Athletes achieve it, like I think any artist can achieve it, like in this state of like beast mode. And anyone can achieve it. Meditators sit and focus on their breath, and they achieve it by focusing on their breath. Like you do it by focusing on your art, and athletes do it by focusing on their sport, But it's all the
like
same mind state.
Mindset you get into, and that's interesting, because I've always thought of being an artist as being very similar to being an athlete.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
it's
interesting, right?
I've always felt it's very, very similar.
Really.
Yeah.
See, that's a really interesting concept. I didn't think about that, and just talking about that concept of it, that it's very true. It's like instead of physical energy, you are outputting creative energy, right? And it's creative exertion instead of physical exertion.
So, I see it also, maybe it's because of the kind of work I do as well. My perception might be very different to other people, but it's about some types of artistry and all types of sports is about optimizing your own body, mind and body, to do a very specific thing and to do that very, very well and efficiently, basically. And so it's one of those like weird things that I always have to watch out that I work out regularly to keep my strength up, that I keep my good posture up. Just so I don't get like crazy back pains after like 8 hours of like sitting around or like painting something, or just when I'm like making molds or doing sculptures, I can lift heavy things and very physical sometimes. It becomes like being an athlete, almost,
Mm.
in some.
That's such an interesting thing. I hadn't thought about it. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, that's really interesting. Hey, so what do you think about this? I was just working on the logo some today. So
Right.
this is kind of what it came up with. I'm liking it more and more. It's like cup.
That
Oh,
looks good.
okay, cup. Oh, I'll get it. I'll get it. I got it. Hey, cup. That's my mom again. um. Okay. Yes. Oh yeah. Okay. Just the logo. So yeah, this it's really interesting with the J and the T.
Right.
Kind of coming up with it. Like I was worried that it actually looked too much like a T. That it was like ambiguous as to like
Yeah,
what it is. What do you think?
it's I really like the human
Yeah.
part.
Oh really? Yeah. That's an interesting font that
Oh
I
yeah, I
found.
just saw
Yeah.
your mother with a delay.
Yes. Yeah. That's a
I
font
really
called
like the
Earth
human.
Orbiter.
Right. With the T and the J is the thing. It's not very noticeable, I feel.
Really? What do you see it as when you're basically a backwards T that's longer? If you look at the
Yeah.
T of project, right? And
So
yeah.
yeah, and that's the problem I had when I like went over your idea and tried to try out a design, play around with it, and I ended up going to uppercase.
Yeah,
Right?
interesting. So that drove you to the uppercase, huh?
Yeah.
I was like,
because,
no, I'm gonna fight for it. You know, I'm gonna fight for it. I believe in it.
Yeah, I typed
You
it
gave
out
up.
and was like, yeah, I kind of typed it out. I was like, that looks just like a T because you lose the dot
Okay.
automatically.
Okay, Yoon, but I agree with you. But when I thought about it more, that is why I like it. Because I want people to think that it's protect human. But I want them to be, I almost want it to be 50-50. Because
Okay.
it doesn't matter that it's Project Human, you know? And it's not as important. Like, I think it's fine for people to believe it's Protect Human. And that's kind of why I like it. It is really ambiguous. It looks exactly like the T. If you look at it, it's just the tail is inverted, basically. The tail is inverted and it's longer, you know?
Right.
And it does look like a T. And it can be seen as a J.
But maybe if you just add a dot on the top.
Mm. Do you want to see it? I did a version like that. Where was it?
Oh, that's gonna take like 30 seconds, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lol.
Yeah, the problem with is the dot is fuck, I don't even know how I'm gonna do this. The problem with the dot, where's the dot? My layers are so messed up. Like I don't even know what I'm doing. Oh, here it is. Yeah, there was like this sort of version. Wow. Yeah, there was this version. I just felt like the dot was too distracting. I liked it. That's the thing. I mean, this is like I was playing around with stuff that looked like this, but I ended up liking it that it looked exactly like a T. That it was ambiguous. And you know, it's like that's kind of what's kind of cool about it is that I don't know, in some ways maybe that if people think it's protect human and then there's a story behind it, right?
Right.
That's what's kind of interesting. I guess there's a story. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I actually like.
Pissed off when that's what it looked like in Helvetica New. yeah. But you know, like I said, I like it like a T. It's kind of crazy, but I like it as an ambiguous thing. I think
Right,
I think people have to look at it twice to be like, what is this? What is this letter I'm looking at? You know,
right,
and then that focuses you on that idea, and that you might have heard that it's Project Human. So when you look at the logo, you already think it's Project, but it's like looks like a T. So then you're like,
right,
oh, okay. Then it becomes clear, what was going on.
right.
So I don't know. Maybe I'm just convincing myself, but I'm kind of liking that aspect of it. That it is ambiguous. Maybe leaning more towards a T.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you like this font Earth Orbiter for human? I do like it.
Oh yeah, I really like that font.
Yeah.
It does invoke a kind of very minimalist feel, though. So
Yeah, I like that. I mean, that's kind of what I go
okay,
for.
okay.
Yeah. But what do you think? You think that's not a good thing?
No, because we were discussing like the website aesthetics.
Well, but definitely not corporate. You know,
Right,
it's got that sci-fi kind of like thing. That's what I'm a little worried about. It is a little too sci-fi. But I like the idea of science fiction, right? And what it's about
right,
is it's about a possible future. That's what Project Human is about. It's about
right.
this painting a picture of a possible future, you know, and and in that sense, it is science fiction.
Yeah,
And yeah,
which leads great into the other topic we wanted to discuss
yes,
is the story, right?
yes. Okay, but can you? Okay, I'm done with this. I'm done with the logo. Can you talk about your piece?
Um, if if you have any questions specifically to it.
Yeah, yeah, totally. So tell me about even the inspiration to do like Medusa. Why Medusa?
So I started out with a veiled woman,
Mm.
and I wanted them. I felt the important thing was to have the lower face still covered,
Mm-hmm.
because that's just part of the message,
Mm-hmm.
and invoke that kind of it. It grounds it into the current reality, basically. So I wanted to keep that element, but I also want saints or the veiled Christ, basically. And I
Yeah.
did not want to invoke a religious figure or something that had a sacrificial turn. I wanted the central figure to have total autonomy, basically,
Got it.
within the iconography of the piece, and
Is this showing up on your screen? I've just zoomed into the veil. Hello? Hello? Hey, you, have I lost you? Oh, crap. Okay, I've lost you. I'll wait for her to call me. Maybe her phone died. Oh my god. My computer. Stop it. Oh god. Um, Let me try her again. Okay. I may have lost her. That detail is insane. Look at the
Leave your message
detail on that eye.
your number.
This is insane. Wow, that detail, man. Fuck. That is incredible detail. Okay, so she must have done this using graphic design. Cool. Okay, her phone died. Okay. I'm gonna start a new stream. Okay, so I'm gonna start like a new stream just to like okay, so anyways, I'm gonna be talking to Yoon after this, but just to recap, the Canopus brand Canopus brand N95 masks are pretty damn decent. Yes. Okay, so just to recap, Canopus brand, really decent N95 mask. Coffee filter from Great Value. Basket one was not very good, but this one I think was good in a previous study, and I'll test it again.